Wow! What a bombastic intro to the Hat Chat podcast, episode 38. I'm Chris Trott.
I'm Ross Hornby.
Is this just a sense check? I'm Alex Smith. You think?
Yeah.
Last time I checked.
Yeah, well, when did you last check who you are? Like, really deep.
I actually have my birth certificate in my bedside table, Trot. As long
Did you really?
As well as I don't know why. But I do.
Does that tell you who you are, do you think?
Not really. Doesn't even tell me my blood type, which is annoying. I'd like to know that.
I mean, don't know my blood type.
Admittedly, in my
that's a very good
32
point.
years of life, I've never actually needed a blood transfusion, so I've got a third of the way through my life without needing to know that, which is fair enough.
That'll come hit you soon, hard.
I'm sure they'll find out quite quickly.
Just
When you
splash
say
some
quite
blood
quickly, do you mean like
well, if you needed
after
it,
they tried a
obviously
few?
you bleed. Yeah.
How's that feel?
All right.
Does that feel better or worse? Better or worse? Better or worse? Oh god,
It's hard to
I
tell.
think it's an O type. I have no idea. Just shove whatever blood we've got in the freezer. In the
What do
freezer?
you reckon happens when you're transfused the wrong blood type? Is it like putting
I think you
unleaded in a
probably
diesel
go
engine?
into some sort of.
It is.
Oh,
It
I
is.
don't-
Essentially.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good at all. What's weird is like I feel bad for early doctors who probably worked out like, or once in a while. Obviously, there's times in history where we've made or civilizations are very, very advanced, but something happens that sets them back, and then there's nothing like them in history for like hundreds of years. Like that is like a civilization from 800 BC is more developed than like one in after Christ or Anno Domini or whatever you want to say, just because of the nature of it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I reckon there was probably a doctor out there who got blood transfusion right once and went, oh wow, shit, like I actually saved this person by giving them some blood, and then they tried it again, but because they didn't understand blood types, they just killed somebody with the same process. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they went
Oh,
through
Ross, is
some
that your
heavy
fucking scooter again, mate?
I think it's a
Is that your
scooter.
fucking scooter? Have you entertained the idea of not plugging the fucker in?
Just let it die. Let it die.
Don't buy 9 bots. That's my advice. Because mine's dying in the corner over there, desperately pleading for my help. Sorry.
Have you tried just taking the battery pack up and running off and running it like default?
Yeah, it does work, but it's just so slow. It just feels awful without the main battery pack on it. I want one that goes 30, 40 miles an hour, Really takes me there.
undone.
Aren't they
For
illegal?
God's sake, his flies are undone over there.
I was
Jesus
breezing.
Christ.
Would you feel okay about going 40 miles an hour on the back of a stand-up electric scooter? That's quite fast.
It really depends on the suspension, because the suspension's pretty shit on it as it is. And no, I wouldn't feel safe. But I wanted to go at least 17 miles an hour, which is what it can do at the top speed, but it doesn't. It stops at 10, and it just looks really, it's pathetic.
17 on like
almost faster
decline.
I think 20 miles an hour, like let's cap them out at 20 miles an hour, because like that's not too fast. I think if they go 30 or 40, like there's so little protection on them. Like hitting anything at 30 miles an hour, a human body weighs 3.5 tons in momentum, the average human body.
Have you tried just taking one arm off the handles and how instantly unstable you are?
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
you don't take your hands off.
We're talking about electric. In case you've got no idea what we're talking about, we're talking about electric.
Electric
scooters.
scooters.
Yeah.
The 9-bot is an electric
Which we got
scooter.
how long ago did we get them? A year
Brand.
ago? May?
A year and a bit
As a
ago,
year
I
passed.
think.
I have no idea what time.
We got
It
them
is,
after we came back from LA the last time when we
May.
saw Stoner Rob. So
Stoner Rob.
Stoner Rob.
Also, before we get too stuck in, I want to say thanks to Billy Bridge for providing the fingal today.
Oh, of course.
Quite the intro. Thanks, Billy Bridge.
I liked it.
It's very kind. There's a longer version at the end, so look forward to that too. It mixes
Actually,
in
can we skip to the
pixel
end?
dust.
I want to hear it now.
It mixes in pixel dust at the start, which is interesting.
Oh, does it really?
Which is Ross's
Lovely,
song.
Nice.
Anyway,
It's a song
back to
from
it.
2013.
Oh, hold on. I think
made that.
Silly Song is now what Ross is best known for.
True.
Oh,
this is pre-silly song.
Okay, well, silly song. I mean, to be fair, if you do go on to iTunes or Spotify, type in my name, silly song comes up. Nothing else, just silly song. So that is now
It's your
my
only
own
accolade.
personal legacy. Obviously, if you put Hat Films in, you can find all the good stuff. But when I filled in the thing, I filled it in on a stream, and I filled it in quickly, and yeah, it's under my own personal name. So as an artist, I'm very proud of my one piece of work there, which was intended to be a joke to piss off Trott. But there we go. People seem to warm to it a little bit for its humour value.
You did not make
bad
that with the intention to piss me off. You made it and then it pissed me off.
And then it pissed you off. And then I played it to you on repeat
over and over
because
again.
It pissed you off. But it honestly was nothing that I was too proud of.
No, you're just fucking around. That MIDI pattern looks funny.
Yeah, literally.
I'll
It's
use
just
it.
a funny little MIDI pattern, and now it's in your la 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 lives, if you will.
La la lives. Well, let's just quickly.
Are you going to give us a little sample, an audio sample?
I want to see what happens when. Oh, there's the artist Ross Hornby.
Oh, there it is. That's it. With the silly song artwork by Chris Trott, obviously done on a stream as well.
I did
if
make
I was
that.
to describe it to you, it is drawn in Paint 3D, I believe. There's
Yes,
a
Paint
duck.
3D.
There's a mallard on the front. Is that what that is?
There,
a
I've already
duck
closed
there?
it. Yes, there was.
There was a
There was
duck.
a duck.
And
Ducks are very
song is
silly.
just written
Ducks are very
in
silly.
like streamer tape. It looks funny. So
Mm.
that's
Silly
silly
song.
song. Get it
You
now.
make
Listen to it
stupid
now.
songs. Why not?
Turn the podcast off
It's
right now and listen to it.
£30 on Bandcamp.
What?
It's more than that, isn't
What
it?
is?
How much is it?
What's £30
I
on
don't know.
Bandcamp?
I think. Is it really?
Ross set a
The song.
ridiculous price because it was like,
Did
this
I?
is art. You did.
Did I actually?
I remember
thought
you-
I put just a pound.
I'm pretty
Look,
sure you
I'm
like
checking
beefed it
now.
up saying like, this is a masterpiece. Let's have a look.
I did. I mean, I certainly built it up. I mean,
Oh,
you've
it's
gotta build these
50p
things
now.
up.
It's 50p now.
It's 50p exactly.
Wow.
And, and
It's even
to be
cheaper than
honest,
a
that's
quid.
expensive. That's quite expensive even then. But I mean, you can spend £30 on it if you want. That's entirely up to you. The option
Yeah.
is there on Bandcamp.
That's your
the
choice.
good thing about that. That's on you, not me.
Hmm.
But yeah, so thanks Billy Bridge for that.
Thanks, Billy
Jingle.
Bridge. What a guy.
Send your fingers in at hat-films.com.
It's
We
been
do
some
love to
good
hear them.
fingles.
And so does the
It's been
audience.
some good. Yeah, yeah. So, Ross, we
Yes.
literally touched upon this right at the end of last Hat Chat.
Oh yeah,
But-
we did. Cause, yeah.
You own a dog. You found it, and it's yours
Yes,
now.
I found a dog, and I've homed the dog, and I now live with the dog. I have a dog, guys. I got a dog, and he's a beagle. He's now 12 weeks old. He had his first walk yesterday, because he had all his vaccinations done, which he bloody loved. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll do a video on our main channel at some point, hopefully soon.
He loved the vaccinations or he loved the walk?
He loved the walk. The vaccinations were absolutely just very quick. Seemed painless. I don't think he even noticed it happened because it's right in the scruff of his neck. So right
They do a
now,
good
obviously,
job.
it's really
Distraction.
yeah, they did a great job.
They do some
doing it,
magic
so-
tricks and
so
shit.
that
It's
was
like,
good.
oh, what's coming out of the hat?
Yeah,
Oh, boom,
yeah. She
vaccinated.
accidentally stuck me with something. I don't know. I mean, hours later, I was fine.
Well,
But-
you're really talented at this.
Yeah,
you're
I was like,
also-
can I walk in the streets now?
I vaccinated the whole room. You didn't even notice.
Yeah.
You will no
Amazing.
longer
But
get
yeah, no,
kennel
it's
cough.
it's
Kennel
yeah, exactly. He had a little for kennel cough. I think he had like a weird like liquid
the nose.
sprayed up his nose, and he was just like
It's like a
when it happened.
yeah, yeah. They don't like
But that was all it
Obviously,
took was that.
Yeah, very cute.
So now I am a dog father as well. Trott's a dog father. We're dog fathers. Smith,
Dog
when are you getting a
father.
dog, or will you just get a giant lizard to ride upon?
Well, there's a lizard called a tegu, which I've always liked the look of. They're Argentinian,
Tegu.
and they have a demeanor that is like a dog. It's been described.
Okay.
They're very good. They're great looking animals.
Oh,
Yeah, just Google tegu. Tegu. Tegu.
All right,
T-E-G-U.
G-E-G-U.
Tegu. Oh, okay. So they're kind of like a small. I want to say.
That's not a dog at all.
I mean, it's what I would picture a lizard if somebody said, "Hey, this is a lizard." It's got
They're quite big lizards. They're very large lizards.
yeah, quite big.
Would you put a
Yeah.
collar on that one, or
Look at a red tegu. You can put collars on them, but they
Big
they
boys.
they are very. They're a bit like,
They are like
you know,
small dogs.
Chub in The Simpsons.
yeah.
where it's
oh
like-
wow, look at the fucking
Jesus.
jowls on that.
They're quite
boy.
big. So I mean, how big do they grow? Because that looks like
Whoa.
the same width, same. Oh my
They
god,
get
yeah,
big.
bigger than Mochi.
They,
I would
get
say.
they get to,
So-
they're bigger than Mochi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
bigger than
describe it
Mochi.
for our audio listeners.
Okay,
'cause obviously we're
so
just
it is.
checking out.
It's a very large lizard. But it's not particularly long. It's very chubby. So it's got big body, big face, big jowly cheeks,
Jar Jar lizard,
and a head.
not Jar
It does
Jar.
look a bit like a Jar
Jabba.
Jar, Jabba the Hutt lizard. But apparently they're very
yeah, it is
nice,
a
and
bit.
they're like little dogs.
Very
apparently.
docile.
And
Ah,
they're really good
Very
pets, but they are omnivorous, and they do eat like full-on rats and stuff. It's a chode lizard, ultimately.
this red tegu looks like someone quick selected them and just applied like a hue shift to red.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I certainly think it's been redded up, but I mean, no, look at that one. That
He's
one's
all
red.
wrinkly.
They look like
What would you
lobsters.
need to
Yeah.
house one of these? Would you need quite a lot of space? Do they need like a small pond?
No, a pond. It's not what.
I don't know. Do they need, like, I saw there was a picture there of it near like a body of water. I don't know what it requires.
It is. You can keep them in the house if you want, but yeah, they will have an enclosure or a pen or something like that rather than like a tank. They're a bit big.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a bit of a sidetrack there because
Yeah.
I'd like a
Murph
dog
on his
a
walk.
lot, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh look,
Think of the
little
excitement
video.
you could
There he
have.
is. That was today. Him walking around. He was just loving life, sniffing every single thing. Obviously, he's known for being a sniffer dog, Beagles. So he has a very high sensitive sense of smell.
Nose
So he's been
tracking.
sniffing every single thing, and he just follows it. And it's been quite a strange experience, really, because obviously going from the laziness of COVID woes, everyone I was waking up late, my sleep pattern was all over the
Lethargic.
place.
Yeah.
Having the dog has kind of genuinely sorted that out for me, and also kind of my mental health as well, in terms of just it's so nice having a little puppy to see every day.
It's a responsibility.
And teaching him has been quite rewarding in terms of just training him and seeing what he can do is it's really cool. I didn't really.
It's been nice with
Obviously I've had dogs before.
the little videos you've been sending us of the dog training, like get the Glock,
Yeah.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Oh, fire. Yeah, wow, it's
Fire,
amazing
fire,
how
bang, 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 bang,
quickly.
bang. You're off target. We
It's
can work on that.
Not in the middle. That's all right. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Straight away. Before you
I
do
know.
paw and sit, went straight to gun training, which is interesting.
It was straight to the weapons training. I'm going to teach him how to operate nukes as well. It's going to be
Oh
a
my God.
real. He's going
There's
to be an
a
armed
fucking
dog.
wasp in here.
Jesus Christ!
Get
Watch
out
out
of
for the
here.
wasps. But it has been quite rewarding because obviously seeing it from day when he was a tiny little puppy and teaching him just basic things like sit, roll over. My favorite one is play dead, just because it's adorable and he just
See,
kind of
Mochi won't do
flops
that sort
on
of
his
thing.
back, and then he knows he's going to get reward. But
Mochi
he's
won't
doing
lie on
that.
a side or a back without coaxing. A lot of coaxing.
Oh, really?
Fuck off, wasp. Get out of my
Is that
face.
just because you can't balance properly? Because I find that Murph wants to put his paw up so that you could hold him in place sometimes because he's like on his back and then he just goes limp and his arms all.
He flops around. Mochi's too tense in the sense of like, oh no, I don't want to go on my side. No, I will lie down. That's it. But I'll sit up again. She's like very energetic, not floppy in any way.
But I've certainly handled a lot of poo in the last 4 weeks.
Surprising amount of poo's
a
gone
lot of
through
poo,
your hands.
Cleaned up a lot of piss. Yep,
Yeah.
I have picked up a lot of poo, and luckily he doesn't eat the poo, which I know can be an issue with beagles and any dog really. I mean, you've had it with Mochi.
Oh, it's a
So luckily
constant
he's
treat.
resisting that, and hopefully that stays because I don't want him to eat those little disgusting little poops.
Yeah.
That'd be rough.
That's fucking
But he's
gross.
almost toilet trained as well, so that's just good. He's following the rules. He's
Wow, he's
doing
beating you.
outside. I think he's even making noises as we speak. But he is loud. He does have a loud when he wants to.
Good howl.
So we're also trying to train that out of him a bit in terms of just calming him down. So yeah, it's it's a learning process. It's when I had puppies 10 years ago, my parents did. I don't think we trained him anywhere near as much as I've been training Murph. I don't know whether my parents just didn't want to, or I don't understand how somebody who has a full-time job, or
interesting,
two
isn't
people
it?
who have a full-time job, can have a puppy, because
Yeah.
it is a lot of work.
We're
I'm
lucky in
kind
the
of
fact
glad
that we
that I've
had
got this
all
time.
that time.
Yeah.
Like I did the same with Mochi, and then you realize, like, fucking hell, my like house dogs from childhood were not very well trained at all. Obviously, you've got kids and stuff which are constantly disrupting the process and like fucking around with
ruining
the
the training.
ruining the training and giving little treats and stuff all the time, and like the dog's just confused in a permanent state of "I'll get away with anything" kind of thing.
Well, that's the thing.
But
because I don't want to be too militant in terms of like he has to be doing things for treats.
Stop training
the things
to do nukes. Then
it's the best way to teach them. You know, they've got to know what's right and what's wrong. And luckily, he hasn't destroyed anything, because when they get bored, they destroy things. So we kind of kept him entertained and doing things.
I think people put too much human empathy onto dogs and treat them like humans, whereas we should really respect the fact that they're different and they have different ways of behaving. Things that you would consider like not cool to say to a human is fine with a dog, and vice versa. They like knowing. Can
you give for that?
Like, you wouldn't tell Smith to sit or shake a paw or go out here to piss or wait.
Or go poop. Go poop. That's my one. Go poop. Go poop. And then he kind of looks at me confused, but then he rushes onto his little mat.
Well, that's triggering something in Smith.
That's the thing. We use the same word for peeing and poop, and he seems to get it, I guess. I don't know. He's doing it outside now, at least. That's the best part.
Yeah,
and he's not doing it in his crate. He did it once in his crate. But the other thing is also people think that putting them in a crate is like cruel, but he likes his little house.
Again, that's another human thing. It's like, oh, you're caging the animal. It's like, it's really not the case. The dog doesn't perceive that cage as a prison in any way if you train them in a way. Well, if you throw them in there as punishment,
if you forced him in a cage and then slammed it shut and told him to fuck off, I think it's a very different experience from kind of rewarding him.
And every time you turn the lights off, you shout "lights out" as well. Might have an effect.
Lights out.
They make a big slamming noise with the But
dead man walking, just rattle the cage.
It really is like a prison.
Complex.
It's a full prison experience.
Just running your truncheon up and down the cage.
Slop of gruel. Blonk.
That's all you get.
Oh. You guys haven't met him yet, so we need to do that at some point soon. So
true.
We'll make that happen.
We did, however, meet up, Max on.
Yes,
by the
we
way,
did.
Very safe. We went to our warehouse. It does exist.
Wow.
We went there. Ross even Instagrammed it.
Took a little stinky picture.
Modern.
Stinky? Sneaky.
Let's see if I can find it.
Poo on the brain.
A stinky.
Poo on the brain.
Literally just. Has he done something stinky again? God,
poopy. All right, this is our.
Yeah, so we went to the warehouse just to check it out because we saw a lot of basic things like electricity and the internet, so that we can start using it for videos and other things. But yeah, right now it is quite bare bones. If people have suggestions of things that we could do with the space, then go for it. It may have gone. It might be on the Hat Films one, Trott.
I looked on the Hat Films one. It's gone as well. Never mind.
Okay, let me. I mean, shit. I can hold.
I know where I can find it on our Reddit. Someone posted it on our Reddit. It's a good little promo as well.
That the reason I might have to zoom in here. The reason Smith's feet look so fucking crazy is because they zoomed in from this picture.
It's a much bigger picture. Oh.
There we go.
Interesting. He's just trying to focus onto his phone here to show us an image
of the
warehouse. There you go.
There we go. So, oh my god, I'm getting messages through. Right. There you go. It's a
That's what it is.
It's a warehouse, guys. There was this load of rubbish which I cut out on the other side, so hence why it looks so weird and warped on his feet. Either way, that's the space we've got. So we will hopefully be using that. Obviously, that means nothing for anyone listening. It's a picture of grey warehouse right now. That's all it is.
Look how big and pointy your feet are,
We're going to have to inject some colour into it. And
we're right on the edge of his wide angle, which is why I look like a fucking unit. A chunky unit. Smith's got pointy feet.
Some point out you weren't being 2 meter Peters, but you had the masks on. And before that, they were making love to each other passionately. So there is that.
Yeah, we were way closer.
We did double bag it though.
Also in the UK right now, we're operating under a 1 meter plus safety measure thing.
Of course.
So, as well as other myriad of complications to the guidelines.
I know.
But we're as safe as we can be.
Are we still staying alert?
We
Or are we just
were
acknowledging?
still kind of alert. I guess we were semi-alert.
There it is.
I mean, Mochi took a clean shit as soon as she came in. That was quite. That caught me on alert straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did shit instantly in the warehouse. She's like, "Oh, this is the
Does that mean
perfect
she's comfortable with it?
surface." Yeah, well, it's like this is the surface I'd shit on. So whether that's comfort or not, I don't know. Probably. But yeah, happy with the warehouse. We've got a warehouse basically to do our podcasting because we like the sound of reverb.
Yeah, we thought there's not enough reverb on the current
Heavy
version.
acoustics like
We can make this. Yeah.
No, it's
I don't know.
It's
It's a space for us to be messy, basically,
yes.
and that's fine, right?
Hello.
Oh, he sounded a
that's-
reverb. That worked quite well. That wasn't
you.
quite a warehouse reverb. It's more like you are in a box reverb.
Hello.
Yeah, very.
Is that better?
Get out of the
No,
box,
it's
you
very
weird bastard.
boxy. No.
All right, never mind.
Nowhere near enough space.
That's the classic
anyway.
box. voice.
Yeah. We got the warehouse because, if you don't know, we have a main channel which has totally been locked down in lockdown. We haven't really posted anything on it
It's been off,
because
basically,
the
hasn't
whole
it?
2020 plan, which has gone out the window, was to get this warehouse and start doing some cool stuff in it, which is more messy and bigger than you could ever do in an office space, surrounded by other people that are trying to do their jobs. So, unfortunately, because we had to go through paperwork and all that lot and get electrics done in the warehouse, it's not usable. And also, the lockdown early on was like, you can't go outside unless you have to. And slowly restrictions are being lifted and we're being safe. And when we feel like we're in a comfortable position that the warehouse is usable, we'll start making stuff there, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
And more fun stuff, hopefully,
Essentially.
en route. We got some cool ideas in the back burner in a Google Doc somewhere where we can kick off. Some of them are ridiculous. But we hope they're going to be following a similar trend of the stuff that we were releasing earlier this year, before lockdown, like challenging each other to do silly stuff, big projects, making stuff, messing stuff up. 3 guys just trying to do stupid stuff because we can, ultimately.
Yeah.
Just
So-
slinging it in each other, left, right, and center. Just
Yeah,
sling it in.
doing it. Just
doing it.
smashing it,
just doing it.
But I mean, we're not
Slinging it in
getting
anyone.
rid of our. We're not leaving our office in Bristol Centre with the Yogs guys. So we'll still
No.
have that. So
That'll
it's
be
not
our,
just,
like-
just moving out.
Gaming, as per usual. We've got all our PC rigs there. Hat Chat is set up there as well. It's a lot nicer to sit around that table in an office space with aircon and chat rather than being a big unheated, unairconned warehouse with a huge ceiling where all the heat gets lost. So we're going to try to improve it as we go along and have some cool stuff going on in there. But for now, it's just a bare bones warehouse. So I can't wait to vac up in it.
Indeed, exactly. Well, it's perfect.
That's why I'm getting the
environment
electrics
for it, Yeah, get the Leckies in. Have you got a Henry?
What else
Drop
was
it.
going on?
We've got foot spas. We've got like massage chairs and foot spas ready to go as well. Like,
First thing,
we could turn it
Yeah.
into like one of those really weird like beauty spas that are on a trading estate.
Yeah.
That you go in and like.
Beauty spa's
like,
in
well,
corner. It's in corner.
Yeah, so
Is it a
it's like
beauty
a
spa
strip
that-
mall in the US, right?
Right,
Like, that has
okay.
that.
Yeah.
So it's an actual one, not one that's like, it's got screens and stuff covering the front window where you don't know what's going on inside because it's a money laundering scam.
Sort of. I mean, we could definitely launder money, but like, I think we could buy in.
We
a
could
load
definitely
of, like,
launder
the
money.
best- the best. I mean, it's easy, guys. Literally everybody does it. Like cash only. You know what they're
Well,
doing.
now that they're polymer, you can.
Yeah, so you can run them through the washing machine. That's really
You
clever,
can
actually.
launder them.
Trott. Yeah, that's great.
That's
But, you know,
good.
if we bought massage chairs, then we get like foot spas, but we also get those little fish that like eat the dead skin, and we do like
Yeah,
a combo
yeah.
of that.
Are they
And then
koi carp that
submerge
do that?
all of that.
It's not koi carp. Sorry,
no,
can we just nip down the bud straight away. It's
Uh,
not koi carp. Don't think that you
it's
can
not
do that with
koi
koi
carp.
carp. Much smaller.
Why? Because you've still got those ones in your pond. Is that why you
He's
asked?
trying to get
Yeah,
rid
I'm
of them.
just saying-
Trying to pop them
I'm
off.
saying we can make use
They're
of those
really
guys. No.
large.
Update on
He's still
those
feeding them.
fish.
He's like, I don't know what to do with these fuckers.
House update. I know you're excited.
Yeah.
We're getting
Oh, yeah.
the RSPCA to take him away. We found someone to rehome
Really?
them.
Oh,
So they're getting taken
okay,
away.
that's good.
We kept them alive this long. None of the other ones died. Only one death this whole time. So
Ah,
that's
okay.
pretty
How
good.
many were there overall?
Wow.
Do you know?
Like 40 in there. It's ridiculous how many there are.
Fucking hell!
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty sweet that like the previous owner just left their koi carp in your pond, and then
Yeah.
you had to come in to call the RSPCA
Oh.
and get rid of them.
yeah.
Like, fair
I bet that
dues,
wasn't
Trott.
on
I
the
think,
forms.
Yeah, has just chucking a car battery in there crossed your mind once or twice?
If I had a car at the time, definitely.
You would have chucked a car battery in the pond and just called it.
It wouldn't have been charged. Let's be honest.
So now I have
Yeah.
to worry about what to do because I want to get rid of the pond, right? Do I just let the sun
Yeah,
evaporate it over time, or I don't want to drain
might
it
be
into
there
the...
sometime. Might be there
Yeah.
sometime.
It's
But
quite.
like, where
just
do
get
I...
a bucket, mate.
Right, and where do I put that? Do I
Drain.
want to sod
Pull
my...
down down
right.
the drain, and
Sure.
then. Okay, here we go.
Try get a pump, right? So just get a hand pump, like off Amazon. You'll be able to get like even something called a bilge pump might be it. So you use them on boats sometimes. So they're like hand driven. It's
Yeah.
a bit like a pump you'd use to pump up like a air mattress, except it'll suck the water out, and then you can just use that to spray your garden. You know, like water your garden with it. Just do it that way.
And then a week later, it's like a tropical forest because of all the nutrition in the fish pond with all the algae
All that
in there.
quite
It's like,
possibly.
wow.
Quite
Yeah.
possibly. Quite
But
possibly.
I'll have to get my
but yeah, just
lawnmower out.
pump it out using a cheap plastic pump.
Yeah. And then
Alright, I'll
what?
get
Are
one
you
of
just
those.
planning to fill it in and then?
Yeah, it's
That's
just
it.
a void space. I don't really want to have fish because they take a lot of effort, as I've known
Yeah.
from inheriting them unwillingly. So I just want to fill it over and have some more garden space, you know, so I can roam around
Yeah.
free, naked.
Don't want to
most of the
accidentally
time.
fall. You've fallen into it, haven't you? That's what happened, isn't it? You
what?
fell into it.
No comment. Anyway, moving on.
He's come home drunk.
Trott, you got a new
Where's
car.
my
That was apparently-
fishes? I want the
The
hug
topic-
each
Oh,
and
that's
every
not
one.
we fishing. Oh, fishing.
Stop it.
I'm just having a quick look, Trott, trying to find you a pump.
Oh,
on
thanks.
Amazon.
Thanks to
He's
take
always
your time
finding.
right now.
He's fine, just. I'm glad he's doing it now
They're
rather than later.
extremely cheap.
Can you add it to
Wait
my
a
wish
sec,
list?
I got one here.
Thank you.
I'll put it in the chat. Here you go. I'll put it in Hat Films chat on Twitch. There it is, Trott. Click
Excellent.
that link.
Love
That's
that.
the kind
So
of
he's
pump
got-
I'm talking
That's
about.
good.
So you put one end
Does
of the
anyone
pump
else?
in the pond,
Wow.
as in at the other end you'll water with, and then somebody just pumps that handle, mate, and before you know it, you'll have an empty pond. We should film that though, because I
Siphon it?
almost guarantee there'll be
Fun.
like toads and newts and things like that in there.
There was some
Like,
frog spawn on the surface,
Oh,
yes.
shit.
But we keep
Yeah,
having to cover
so-
over the top because big fucking birds come in and try to eat the fish. So we've got like
Well, there we go. There's this problem solved.
nature.
Does it
takes
cost
its
anything for the
course.
RSPCA to come over, or is it like, kind of like a
It's a volunteer
come
charity
over,
service.
take the fish, hand it over?
I will be
to someone else?
donating quite a lot for the service, I'd say, because thank you. They're just
Fair.
there available. They'll take my fish away.
Sure, yeah.
Amazing. Most people think fish don't mean anything. I'll just kill them all and flush them or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would have a similar level of questions as you've had as to what to do with these 40 full-grown koi carp in my pond. I don't think many
Yeah.
people will be like, well, this is clearly a flush job. This is clearly a flush job. I
It's
mean,
a
some of those
flush
fish
job.
trot in
One's
there
stuck.
are over a foot long. That's not a flush job, Trot.
it's
Fucking
blocked.
hell.
Get the plumber out.
It's still alive
It's
in
in
there.
the U-bend.
It's halfway in, halfway out. It's splashing.
I've got,
Get the
got a
plunger.
massive koi carp in my system. They're just all swimming around in there.
But yeah, that's my exciting time with my pond right now. I can't wait
Oh.
to. I might count how many pumps this fucking thing. This is a tiny pump, and I've.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's an example of the
you
kind
skirted
of
over the thing
As
like
long as
you said before.
Yeah,
You
it's
know it. You'll have a drained pond, and I know I'm going to be exerting some fucking force with that tiny pump there.
I wish you luck, and also
Thank
you are
you.
more than welcome to find a cheaper, quicker solution. You could just try buckets if you want to do that. I
was thinking
suppose.
drinking it.
Just
Would a siphon work? Can we get a hose pipe and you want to suck that bad boy out?
What about aquaponics? Aquaponics using like gravity to create some sort of vacuum system to instantly drain it all.
Yeah. What vibrations?
Isn't
Put some speakers
aquaponics
next to the pond.
sound waves, or is it
No.
sound waves? Isn't it? No.
Aquaponics.
That's aquasonic.
What are you
alter
talking
ego for
about?
Sonic.
Aquaponics. A system that
Aquaponics.
combines the conventional aquaculture with hydroponics
Yeah.
in a symbiotic
yeah.
environment. So that's absolutely
I know.
the wrong word I'm using, yeah.
Well, you said aquaphonics, which I've not heard before,
sound.
but
It's because I'm thinking of stereophonics.
phonic is
Sting of
Yeah, which is a-
Stereophonics is
which is a
classic
band
favourite
from
Welsh
Wales.
band.
Hydrodynamics, that's
yeah.
what I'm on about. Hydrodynamics.
right.
Where you
Okay.
can use
okay.
gravity and the suction, like plumbing, where you can like flush and then using vacuum to.
Yeah, that's what
suck
Ross
it
was
all
saying about a siphon. That's
Yeah.
what, like, yeah, it's using
Like how Ross gets petrol for his car.
That's how I get free
thermostatic
fuel, guys.
physics. Not
Free fuel.
hydrostatic. Yeah, I mean, like I went past a garage the other day selling red diesel, and I'm like,
Oh, really?
What's red diesel?
I could buy some red diesel. Red diesel is something
It's
that farmers
farmers-
use to run their equipment. It's red because they buy it tax-free because it's considered something they need to work. And so they dye it red so that if you put it in anything other than a piece of farming equipment, police can check the color of the inside of your tank. And if it's dyed red, it means you've been using red diesel. But it's like
And they
it's like
scream
50p
tax dodger and hit
50p
you
a
in the
litre.
face.
Yeah,
Oh,
Now
really?
you've
Jesus.
it's about 50p a diesel.
you've timestamped your potential motive there
Wow.
Well,
For what?
in a
It
podcast
certainly has.
for getting it.
Yeah. Wow, he hasn't
It's
got
very
it yet.
cheap.
It is very cheap. I mean,
It's very
Fair
cheap,
enough.
Trot. It's about 50p a litre. 50p a litre, Trot.
Yeah, what-
Can you imagine?
That's nuts, isn't
I
it?
don't know what it's like to fill up a
You'd
car.
have to
I haven't
be-
done it yet.
You'd have to be in literally any other country in the world to get a price like that. Maybe not Scandinavia or Northern Europe, but certainly the US. Easy.
It's very cheap. It's very cheap.
Well, it was
considering
considered
it's like
expensive
£1
when I started to drive
something.
at 87p.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old days of cheap, horrible fossil fuel. I love it.
87 extortionate prices.
I won't pay a
For my
single
Renault
dime
5.
more. No tuppence more. Anyway, I have got a car actually, talking about petrol.
Yeah.
It's petrol powered, but it's also hybrid, so it's a battery. And I haven't had to actually fill up the petrol engine since I've owned it, which is
That's
about
great.
a month or two now, which is pretty
How many
sweet.
miles have you done on that battery then? do you think?
I can check on my app. Thanks.
Oh,
for,
his car has an app. That's
it's like you led
that
me
is
into that,
next
but
gen, isn't it?
it is next
No,
gen.
I honestly didn't know that there was an app to check that. That's.
Do you want to see
pretty
my
useful.
MPG?
I would like to see that. Yes, it's probably going to be impressive. I'll preface it by saying my MPG is less than 20.
Can't see it, Trot. Too close.
No,
Too close. It can't focus.
It's not. 148.6. Ah,
Pretty good, eh?
shameful. I feel guilty.
Wow.
Got fuel guilt.
So wherever I've been, it's always been within like a 25-mile radius, which is the length
Yeah.
of my battery, and I've mostly been
So
on
long.
electric this
Do
whole
they
time. I must
coil it
say.
up or?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, like an intestine. It goes that range. But yeah, just plug it in at home. I got a little plug-in port. It's amazing, and yeah, hybrids and electrics are the future. As much as everyone
You're
enjoys
saving the
the
planet, Trot.
yeah.
Well,
I don't
me
feel so
and
bad
Smith
doing,
are
like-
destroying it.
Yeah, when I get in the car now, I don't feel like this feels bad. I should walk or I should
Yeah.
scoot. It's like I can go to the shops and know that I'm not polluting on the way there and back, and get unfit
Smith, what's
doing
your
it.
MPG? Smith, throw your MPG out there.
27.
27. Okay,
Ross?
mine's about 22. 22.
Gas
Sometimes
guzzlers.
20.
Gas guzzlers. Yeah, it's a plug-in
You're
hybrid.
doing it for the rest of us, Trot. You are the Hat Films eco warrior, if you will. There it is.
That's
There's
my
a
number
picture
plate.
of the Volvo
Dox
C. What is it? C40.
XC40.
No.
So it's like the
XC40.
smallest.
There you go.
It's the smallest SUV that Volvo do, and it's
Yeah.
in this black color as well. So it's a pretty.
Mhm.
I think this is a very nice looking car, which is kind of why I went for it. That's
nice.
the back.
Nice little car.
It's got a
Yeah.
pop and booty there. Love it.
Pop
it's
and
very
booty.
nice.
Okay, nice.
And it's in this
And Mochi fits in it.
our design spec, and Mochi definitely fits in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, tiny dog, big car.
I am now allegedly, according to chat, a soccer mum.
Yeah.
So
You are now a soccer mum. So
you go.
it's just the kids next, and then you've ticked all the boxes
Completed the
before
whole-
even having kids.
Yeah.
You've got the pond
That's that.
that you're filling over just in case the kids drown, of course.
Of course.
And you've got the house, and you've got the car that fit for a family of 5. I don't know how many seats there are.
I can fit more than that in there, Ross. There's the boot.
There's a boot. You can't put kids in boots. Just throwing.
Oh,
it out there.
there's a netting thing that came with it to make sure they don't roll around.
You want a net? You want to put kids in nets in your boot?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We need to confiscate this car from him. I think there's some child.
Try and take it from me.
vibes.
Try and take it from
Try
me.
and take it. He'll be whizzing down the road.
I've got 40 fish to protect me until they get taken away. I've trained them. I've trained them all.
Attack fish.
Weaponized
fish.
Just gonna make sure that any attackers. Can I just show you my pond before you beat me to death? Aha!
Huzzah!
Attack
Pushes
fish,
in.
bitch!
Oh, I'm covered in sludge and slime, and I crushed a few fish. What were you hoping to improve from this? I'm just trying to kill as many fish as
Can I-
possible, honestly.
Would your next car be a hybrid/electric, do you think? Or do you not think you're
Well,
there yet?
hopefully, if I can find a car that's affordable, that's the problem is I would choose. If you told me I could have my car but electric, perfect. Like I would do it.
yeah.
I have no
agree.
Is it more
allegiance to
the-
combustion. I
it
have
the
no allegiance
design?
to combustion. It's the shapes of the cars and the costs of them. Yeah, like my car is big inside. It's very useful. There are very few EVs out there that have the kind of space that my Land Rover does, and if they
What's,
do exist, they tend to be very expensive.
What's unappealing about this,
Like,
though?
Yeah.
That thing looks cool.
That's got. Have they got camo to disguise the shape of it, or is that just the style? There's like
I think
picture of
it's
a Land
that
Rover here
jazz. That jazzy.
This is the Defender, I think.
It
this
is
is
a
black
the
and
new
white
Defender.
random shapes on the bodywork.
yeah, hybrid 2020 Land Rover Defender.
Yeah, so they're
Nice.
disguising the actual shape of it, but you can kind of get the idea of it from those photographs.
That one looks weird, doesn't it?
The thing is, for me
Yeah,
as well,
but,
the Defender. That was a 90 wheelbase, and then the longer weird one with the pattern was a 110 wheelbase, I think. But
Well, look at this guy.
The thing is, this looks great, but this car's going to cost like 70 grand. Like that's ridiculous.
that's a
Like,
lot,
I'm not
yeah.
going to spend 70 grand on a car, especially not before I've got a house. Like I'm going to hold
Yeah.
out, wait for the housing market to collapse next year, get in there with the house, and then I'll be in a much better position with my car. I'm just going to leave my car right now for a year before diesels
Yeah.
get banned in central Bristol. Then I will. But hopefully there might be some form of incentive for people to switch over to electric vehicles. That would be nice because I totally want to do it, but it's expensive.
Yeah, the best thing I got out
Yeah.
of it was like a government grant to have £500 off my EV charging port at home.
Right.
Mm.
But it's still expensive, and I don't get any like road tax exemptions or anything like that like you used to. Or was that pure electric that you did, where you didn't pay road tax?
Use
Pure
pure
electric, you get
probably.
road tax exemption. Yeah.
Right. I feel
Pure
like
electric, you still get
if I
road
can
tax
prove,
exemption, I think.
like with this app, for example, I'm using mostly electric, I feel like I should be able to apply for something similar. But anyway, I guess
Yeah.
that's not the point.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, also you could just hack
I've-
and abuse the app as well. Like your proof isn't
which I have.
particularly.
My MPG is actually 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've done
I've
490
been trying to-
miles.
490.
Total.
Oh, okay, it's not too bad yet.
Yeah.
To be fair, not hit the 500 mark. But yeah, I've wanted a BMW M4 for like since it came out, so I've just been saving money for that. I know it's not it's not economical in any way in that sense, but I don't know. Before we have to, that's kind of my go-to car, just because.
Before we have to wear a mask,
It's the
I'm
type
not
of thing-
gonna.
I don't know if that is it. Yeah, is that the case? I don't know. I mean,
No, it's not.
Maybe.
Would you get it in gold like
It
this?
might just be a case. I mean, I wouldn't get a brand new one. That's for sure. It's so expensive. But yeah, it's the type of thing where when you kind of, I don't know, like everyone has dreams to have certain things or certain goals, and it's pathetic as it probably sounds. I've always wanted a really fucking nice sports car, and that's as pathetic and lame as that probably sounds to most people. But yeah, that's what I want to get, and I've been saving up, and one day I might get one.
One
But I don't
day.
know.
I like it in
Hopefully
this
they
kind of
maybe they'll make a
grey.
hybrid version with a little electric battery in there, and I don't know, but
Fine,
all
we'll
cars are
fucking
moving
throw
that
one
way
in.
eventually, but they're going to be so expensive to start with that it's going to be a hard
they need
market
to come down.
penetrate properly. Because I'm not going to buy a Leaf. I just don't want to buy. Yeah, I don't.
That's
I don't
not
wanna
the
get
only
that.
option.
And I can't
but
afford a
yeah.
Tesla.
Yeah,
I know, but like
So
that's the style of
I-
car you're seeing, like the cubes or whatever. And
I mean, the Tesla Model 3 is 30 grand. It's very reasonable.
yeah,
Um,
but it's a very boring.
nowadays.
The other thing is like it's down to taste and kind of like it's a flashy car or whatever. But like I don't really want. I wasn't that enamored by the Teslas we drove. I didn't really fall in
I
love
loved
with
it.
them.
I fucking.
Once they
love
make a sportier version
tech.
of them, I think they'll probably be a fucking amazing. Like that
Yeah,
road just looks really
fair.
cool.
on the inside.
But when we
though,
drove
it's
them,
like,
I had no
futuristic.
satisfaction driving it other than the
Really?
boost from the beginning. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I
that's just
think
me.
I just like comfort though. I'm a comfort kind of guy where I like all these amenities and this cool touch screen in the middle and autopilot. I love all those like cool tech things, which I think Tesla does very well. They might make an Apple out of a car.
Yeah, the ownership experience is pretty nice. Like in terms
Yeah.
of like when you something we didn't really. That's what when we drove the Teslas and stuff, we were looking at them from like a performance point of view and like an interior point of view. But like the ownership experience, fuck me, that sounds so yuppie. But basically, you have the app on your phone and you can do things like summon the car to you in a car park, right? So say you're at the ticket machine in the car park, you can click summon, it'll drive its way to you and you can hop in. Like stuff like simple things like that we didn't really experience.
Cool.
And I think that is
I don't think any
a
other
really
car can
big
do that.
plus.
right
No,
now.
exactly. Like all of the automation and self-driving stuff is really impressive with Tesla. Like there's nothing quite like it. But yeah, I kind of agree. Like it wouldn't. I'd be excited to own one and for the fun stuff that they can do, but I'm not particularly interested in them from a design or looks perspective. Like, so something I was toying with the other day until I decided that they're actually terrible. Is the Honda E. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. So I was thinking,
Oh, I think
okay,
I
I've got
saw
my
the
Land
image of that.
Rover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got my
I did see
Land
that.
Rover for like
cool.
putting my bike in the back and taking all my camping shit everywhere and like all my airsoft stuff. Like I've got that vehicle for the hauling. Maybe I should get an electric, like a small, cheap electric vehicle for going around Bristol and like just leave the Land Rover parked up outside our warehouse or something like that, right? So anyway, I started looking for this car. It does, but it also looks a little bit like a GT, a Volkswagen
cool
Golf
little-
GT.
It looks like you know, when you get one of those cutesy
maybe with
robots
rounded edges.
with their eyes, like a Wall-E kind of thing.
Yeah, it does. It does look very robotic, doesn't it? In that sense, it's got kind of like a clean look to it.
I'd love to
If
see
it's
you
hard
in
to
this
describe,
car,
but yeah,
Smith.
And
Honda
then-
E.
Like just
If you
crammed in there with that tash. It'd be amazing.
That would be quite funny.
check
Is
the
it quite small?
interior out. Check the
Okay.
interior out. It's
So
got.
is the interior like?
You'll
if
notice
you
it doesn't have
describe
wing mirrors, because
Okay.
the interior
Oh, it's
has
got a
cameras
screen.
for wing mirrors.
Yeah, I've
This
seen
thing
this.
literally
Oh,
looks
that's
like
pretty
they
cool.
designed it straight out of
I love that.
Thunderbirds
It's so cool.
or something.
So
Or
many
Captain
monitors.
Scarlet.
Oh, so it's got
Yeah.
like a dash that goes all the way
Yeah.
across your dashboard.
If you
Yeah.
look through the steering wheel
screens.
there,
That's
that's
cool.
the wing mirror there. Very cool.
Yeah. So this
That's
has
an
some really
old
cool
school
features.
dash,
So
though.
those
Look at the-
central features.
Yeah, go on.
Like those central screens, right? Those are actually two wide screens, and both you have your left one and your passenger has the right hand one, and there's a dedicated button to flip
Oh.
the information from your screen to the other person's screen. So the person, your passenger, could be
Right.
typing in your GPS location, like planning your route,
Yep.
and then once you're happy with it, press a button that flips to the left and goes to the driver's screen, so the driver can see the
Oh,
information.
so they can sort you out. That's cool.
So there's
pretty
all these
useful,
cool
yeah.
concepts, and yes, it's a bit like the dash is a bit wooden and stuff, but it's a taste thing and it's all customizable.
Yeah, it's probably
However,
customizable.
the reason this car is still awful, right? Those screens and that software the software that Honda runs on is garbage. It's one of the worst infotainment systems in the business.
No.
Every reviewer who drove this said that the screens are awesome. It's just a shame what they display. All of the HUD is slightly out of focus because it's one of those like those screens. You know what I mean? By they have that slightly out of focus resolution problems.
Right.
They have
Low
all this
res.
I think I know what you
Yeah.
mean. Yeah.
It-
It's not like
It has
render.
basically no boot. It has a range of 96
guy.
miles, and it's £30,000. So it
Right.
it basically has priced itself out of the market. It's not useful, and the actual all the software that's ran on all of that screen space is garbage. So yeah, I kind of was like,
That's a shame. That's a shame.
That's sad.
I think that's a big problem with
but
a lot of cars software.
What the
Yeah.
sat nav software?
That's why I use CarPlay.
Yeah, no, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what modern cars are coming with now, but like they give you limited options to upgrade them, like the,
I'll show you
the
my
computer in
interior,
your car,
'cause it's-
which is kind of I think is really shit. Once they get to a stage where you can update it, like you update your Windows PC, or anything else that runs better than Windows PC. Yeah, I think that'd be much better. But currently, it's kind of locked off in their own ecosystem, and then it's
It's
5 years down the line, it's out of date. Properly, like
it is
can they
pretty
guarantee
naff.
that
It's not the worst in
it
the
has a
world.
long life?
But my Volvo one is there, right? And it's vertical, which is okay.
So you've got
However,
like
I've
a
also
vertical
got
screen in the middle
I've
of your
got a
dash.
screen here as well. But when I have CarPlay, which is an optional extra, you have to pay more to have that installed. It only takes up the bottom half of the screen, and you can't make it full
So
screen.
CarPlay just takes your entire iPhone, right, and displays it on screen so you can access the key features.
You plug in your
use from
phone, and then your phone has a car feature where it's like Google Maps.
Yeah.
Everything's like big buttons and stuff to make it usable
Yeah.
in a car. And you've got Siri on here. You can like push that button, and it does Siri, which is pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
But it's
so it
just
doesn't
like
listen to you or
Volvo
gets it wrong.
don't allow you to use the whole screen. It's like you still got to use Volvo parts of it, which is a bit annoying. But
Yeah, I think I
it's,
find that's always
trivial.
quite a big flaw because we were saying it the other day, like electrics are the first thing to kind of fuck up in older cars, and that like updating them is just pointless. So you end up just trying to go for a newer car just to update your other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
They're very
I think the
behind.
complexity, as cars become more complex, you're less likely to own them for their entire for. Like I think that we're going to
They'll
end
be like
up
owning a
leaning
phone,
more
right?
towards like leasing or owning phones. Exactly. Like
Yeah,
in the States,
maybe.
leasing is even more common here than it is here.
makes
Like
sense,
leasing is
right?
a big thing over there.
You don't need to own a car.
Yeah, well, the problem is, right, is you get this super advanced product, which is amazing, and they'll only become more and more advanced, but then they'll become so complex that you won't be able to fix them at home. You already can't, and also they're going to become so expensive that the only way to own them is through leasing. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because you get this new product, you get that support and all that sort of stuff, but also any of the equity and the value and the margins in owning a car are held by the manufacturer, right? So you aren't ever going to get that money back through leasing. You aren't ever going to like use a car and get a few lucky years out of it where you didn't have to pay anything to repair it, and that's great, and that's essentially money in the bank there because you haven't had to pay £1,000 a year to maintain it. But yeah. I think that's the way it's going to go. Whilst
on
we're speaking
PCP,
about our favorite
so-
cars and the Honda E, another car that's just like the Honda E, which I totally love and you can't get anymore, is a Toyota FJ Cruiser. Okay, so Foxtrot Juliet Space Cruiser. Have a look at this thing. So this is a 4x4 that was designed by Toyota that looks, I think, fucking awesome.
Oh my god,
and
it's so big.
They were discontinued because it just weren't very well received. People
Look at that
there's
rear
loads of really
brake
good-
light.
How would you describe that to anyone listening right now?
How would you?
It's a
describe
Tonka
looks like a
car.
toy car, doesn't it?
It's a Tonka
It
truck.
is.
Yeah, it's a Tonka truck.
I'm not sure I like it.
In
So-
the
wait,
flesh,
the-
they
the-
look so good.
Do
Like,
they? Okay, I'll take
Oh,
your word
man.
for it.
they're awesome. Trust me, they're so cool.
Are they on the
They're
scale of like the
they're
Escalade,
two-door.
or are they?
Yeah, how big
Oh
is
no,
it?
they're not that
Two-door.
big. No, they're about the same.
Not that big,
They're about the
okay.
same size as my Land Rover.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even a
So
little bit
chunky.
smaller because they're only two-door. So,
Oh, right.
yeah.
but I so badly want one of these things. But they are
It looks
so
like a toy.
hard.
It looks like a toy car.
It does, yeah.
Look at this big chunky like
Yeah.
air vent thing. It's like a cylinder all the way across at the top and bottom. And like
So
even
this car was
the
produced as recently as 2011. Like you wouldn't
Oh,
guess,
right.
but yeah.
okay, that's like 9 years old and it looks pretty good for that
Yeah.
age.
But that's not a thing anymore. That's no longer
Nope.
available.
No, they
right?
don't. They
I
don't
could
make
see
them
that being a
anymore,
micro
unfortunately.
machine. That could be a micro machine right
Yeah.
there. I'd get a remote control
There's
car
there's,
version of
there's
it.
loads of good classic like Toyotas. Like there's so many awesome looking Toyota Like there was one. I'm trying to remember the name of the car we had. Australia, but we had this incredible 1960s 4x4. Anyway, 1980s 4x4.
And that's a lot of car talk for people.
It
is
is.
a lot of car talk,
a
actually.
bit of car talk. But I do have some funny news stories if you wanted to, unless you have any
Please.
other
Go for it.
to.
Detract us.
This was quite interesting just because it sounded so out there. The headline is, Mike Tyson to fight a great white shark as part of Shark Week for the Discovery Channel for Tyson versus Jaws Rumble on the Reef. So Mike Tyson is officially making a return to fighting, although it's not against a foe fans would have expected the former heavyweight champion to face.
What?
So apparently he's planning to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that's been because this is from the middle of July. So this was from quite a few weeks ago now.
How is he going to fight a
that's
shark?
the plan. He's going to fight a shark. Let me find the key information as to how he's going to do that.
Yeah,
so it says,
ideally.
I equate this with overcoming his fear of getting back into the ring at 54 years old, which, okay, fair play. That seems nuts, but okay. He learned from this experience during Shark Week that whatever intimidates me, he's still able to. Okay, well, that's not the key information. Okay, so
Yeah, I saw a video of him the other day. He's in shape.
Yeah, he's in shape.
He can
he's
tackle
sorted
a shark.
himself
How does this work?
out. And apparently it's part of scientific
this is
research.
going to be. It's just going to be him in a cage tapping a shark, right? I mean, they're not. Why would
so.
Discovery
think-
Channel
it's
ever
not-
want Mike Tyson to punch a shark?
This is
Are
animal
they
cruelty.
expecting to just are they expecting the shark to back off the moment it gets booped with his fist flying through water, which probably isn't actually that.
It just sounds wrong.
I mean,
It just sounds wrong.
dampened. But they've got Michael Buffer calling the shots. He's saying these two heavyweights will square off underwater, where Mike Tyson will try to score a total knockout over the massive shark, all in the name of research. So yeah, I think essentially he's going to punch a shark through a cage. Is that animal cruelty, or is
I
it
think so.
a boxing bout you'd pay to see? I think I
Both.
would like to see it.
I
Bit
think
of
they're
both?
being purposefully vague in order to get people talking about it. I bet
And
this is
then
going to
the
be
actual
some-
event won't be
it's gonna
it.
some
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
But like punching underwater is a lot like punching in a dream. Like so.
Oh, of course. It's
And we all
it's
know what
frustrating.
that's like.
We all know what that's like.
We all know what
It's like
punching in a
playing
dream's like.
numerous games that we played.
Every
They're
night I
all
have
like
to fight
that.
myself out of sleep. You know, I don't
I
wake
wanna
up
punch
unless
something.
I finish,
I'm real.
I'm so
finish the
weak.
fight. Yeah.
I need to go punch something.
Okay, how about this story? So, woman catches Amazon driver mid-squat pooing in her garden. That is...
I feel sorry for
That's the
him.
headline. I feel sorry for him too. So, okay, so Amazon has sacked a delivery driver after a horrified neighbour caught him pooing in her garden. NHS counsellor Sharon Smith said she was cooking in the kitchen when a van pulled up outside her home. A man ran from the vehicle towards her garden, and she followed him, suspecting he could be stealing some wood. Okay, but the mum of two caught the man mid-squat defecating on her property among the trees. There's also there is a photo there as well if you wanted to see that, and promptly called the police. Sharon said he even asked her what her problem was and got aggressive as he tried to leave.
All right.
She
What's
said,
your problem?
I asked what the heck
taking
he
a
was
shit.
doing. He just remained pooing whilst asking me what my problem was. The cheek
To
of
be
it.
fair, it's hard to cut off once you started, isn't it?
Of course it is. I think if you started, you may as well finish.
You got to commit.
He messed with the wrong man. I'm a blue belt in Taekwondo, and the anger and rage he saw was enough to put the fear of God in him. I made it clear I was calling the police, and if he moved, he'd regret it. He emerged from the bush quite aggressive, but I was angrier than him, so kept him there until my husband and the police arrived. So he then apparently continued on to deliver his parcels next door, with potentially traces of excrement. Of course, he did just take a shit in the woods.
Yeah.
And the police didn't arrest him that day. He just said he was desperate for the toilet and didn't realise it was private property. That's pretty weird. That's a pretty weird situation. It's a shame that obviously he couldn't knock on the door and request maybe. I mean, maybe is it weirder to knock on someone's door and go, oh, I really need a fucking shit, please. I'm an Amazon delivery driver. I got deliver over there. But God, I'm fucking turtlehead in here. Please, let me in.
I'd
Let me
have
in
more
for
empathy
shit.
for him. If
Fuck
he
it, I'll do it in
wasn't
bushes out back if you won't let me in.
I'd have more empathy for him if he wasn't so aggressive. I also
mean-
like the bravado of this woman. It's like, little did he know,
Taekwondo.
I had a blue belt in Taekwondo.
Isn't
So-
blue belt like the second belt you get as well? Like,
No.
what,
Yeah,
does
well,
anyone know anything
Taekwondo.
about
Did you do Taekwondo,
Taekwondo?
Trot?
No, not taekwondo, but it usually follows the white, yellow, orange, green, blue, and then there's some
I'm sure we'll
green and
find out
whites
if we're
and
wrong.
blue and whites.
Oh, so blue isn't too bad then.
It's
blue's
kind of
like middling.
mid-range. It's mid-range.
Okay.
But it
don't
really
think he
depends
should have
where
lost
you
his
get
job.
trained.
Do you think he should have lost his job?
I think you should have had some discharge,
Like what
maybe.
you say? Don't say nappy.
I think he should have. He had a shit time, to be fair. So
He said he did.
time
Trott,
to reflect.
Trott,
Yeah,
when
I
you got your black belt, well, do you think there was any bias from your teacher that they wanted 2 black belts in Montacute? Do you think?
Maybe.
Or was it
Well,
hard? Can you remember the process?
so yes, the process when you get to like brown, you don't just get graded by your teacher. You have to go to a higher up sensei in a different part of town and get graded by them instead. So it's like both them
Right.
and my teacher gets judged essentially. It's like, you really thought this
Right,
guy was ready
okay.
for black belt? Fuck off. And they treat it very fucking seriously. Like, there's these old guys. He was really rotund, but really flexible. He could just pop a squat in an instant. Incredible. Anyway, his name was Barry. I loved it. Anyway, he was like the head of the area of the district of Bushido. That's what we called it. And it's very
Bushido?
westernized. Bushido. And yeah,
Why
I
is it
do all my
called that?
stuff.
Is that a form of karate?
Honestly, I think it's just a butchered
Karate,
term that's
can you say
been
it properly?
Westernized.
Is it karate? I don't think it is pronounced like that.
I'm just taking a piss. I don't know. I have no idea.
I've heard Bushido.
Yeah.
I've heard Bushido
The
before.
code of honor and morals
Bushido karate.
developed by the Japanese samurai. So it's a descendant of the samurai way of training, interestingly. But yeah.
I love that the story about a man shitting on someone's property has turned into really getting interested in the taekwondo element of things.
Well,
because
it's the blue belt.
there's so much more to unpack here, but we've gone with the taekwondo. So let's learn more about the taekwondo thing. I mean, not about the fact that this guy's probably worked to hell to a point where he can't find a fucking toilet and has to shit in someone's garden. To the point where he's lost his job. Lost his job for shitting. I mean, come on. I mean,
He
how
shot
bad
on
could it
someone's
have
property.
been? He said he'd
To be
clean it
fair.
up.
I mean, yeah.
He
He
lost
was
his job,
aggressive,
that's
though.
shit.
I don't have that much sympathy.
There was no, like, they didn't say what he... I mean, aggressive. Anyone looking at me while I'm squatting, taking a shit, I'd be a little bit aggressive.
If you really want to question this and you really want to drill down, you got to question everything you've heard. You have no idea if he was aggressive. You got no idea if
That's true.
like who was saying what. Like
The
the reason I
taekwondo thing
make
could
a
have been
light of
made
it,
up.
Ross, is because I don't trust anything I hear anymore, Ross. It's a default setting. I
That's
just don't
fair
trust
enough.
anything.
He might not have
Nah,
even
that's
shit.
Well, I've got
at
some.
all.
I've got
Right,
something
but a
you can
piss.
trust.
Yeah.
Man loses penis to infection. Doctor builds new one on his arm. How does that
Wow.
sound?
Is there
Like-
Okay, so a
pictures?
British man. There is a picture, but it's censored. He's got his arm out and he's holding it
I
out, and
can
there's just
see
a
it.
censor bar underneath his arm. Okay, so a British
there
man who
it
lost his
is.
penis to a severe blood
Oh,
infection now has a
fuck
new
off.
one built on his arm.
That's a Photoshop,
Malcolm
surely.
MacDonald, whose surgeons were able to add an extra 2 inches to his manhood, is now awaiting final surgery to transfer it to its rightful place, reports say.
Oh.
The 45-year-old had a perineum infection that worsened into sepsis, and soon he saw his fingers, toes, and penis turn black, according to
Hold on.
a report.
The way this
Perineum
is
is
written,
of course, hard to trust.
Right.
I'm so
Perineum
confused
is
with this.
gooch.
Oh, right. Well, I'm confused by this whole thing, right? The title is Man
Go on.
Loses Penis to Infection, Doctor Builds New One on
Yeah.
Arm. And the first sentence is, oh no, the second one, sorry, is surgeons were able to add an extra 2 inches to his manhood.
They
It's like,
highlight that first. They're
Why?
like, oh, okay, so there's an upside. They're tickling the upside. But apparently he was completely
But, like-
gutted when his penis fell off in 2014.
I'm sure he was.
I think I would. I think anyone would be. God, I'm bloody
livid.
gutted about that.
I'm livid.
Absolutely gutted.
Gutted.
My knob fell off.
Just put it on my arm.
His
for fuck's
testicles
sake.
were intact, guys. His testicles were fine. He reportedly
infection
nicknamed the
just-
appendage Jimmy and
How
can
did
now
the
find
inf-
humour in the whole situation.
It's a
How did they get an
perineum
infection on their gooch?
infection. It's worsened
I don't
into
know.
sepsis.
That's a. Do you know what? That's.
Oh,
I'd like to
yeah.
avoid that happening first. I mean, geez. I mean, I have no idea. It doesn't state in this.
I was
But he says
gutted
get a
when my
perineum
dick
infection.
fell off.
absolutely. Oh, that's gutting.
Oh,
isn't it?
oh,
Bloody cock's
oh, my
fallen off.
dick's fallen off. Oh,
And a
Yeah,
couple of
there it
my
goes.
tiny toes come off too. He said, of course it's mad having a penis on your arm. Not even I'm used to it. But when you think about it, it's actually amazing. And it is. To be able to grow a penis on your arm, that gives us all hope.
I like how
especially
he's,
anyone with a microscopic penis.
I'd
There are
like
options.
to. I'd like to hear about like how useful it is afterwards. Like, is it just a meat tube to piss down, or is it like actually a workable
Well,
I'm not
phallus?
sure.
been-
Yeah,
if it's
exactly.
been
Is it just
grafted-
like, is it a meat tube? You're right. Could
It's
it be
the
just
same
a
dick,
Yeah.
right? It's his penis. So I feel
Well,
like
yeah,
you're
but
keeping
didn't
it
go black
alive on
and
your arm.
Fall off, maybe.
They
Anyway,
probably kept it
he already
alive.
has 2 children, so he wasn't worried about sex. Apparently.
Well,
What? I've actually had a couple of kids, so I've 0 sex
Don't need-
drive now. I
don't
don't
need
need
sex
to use this
anymore.
bad boy.
Especially
Just
not
need a
on my
piss.
pretty
arm.
much
Shit,
annihilated
that's
any sexual need. I mean, we're
Just
all
use your
joking
arm.
here. None of us have had kids. That might genuinely happen.
I've never heard of
can
that,
you-
yeah, I
though.
would
the
imagine-
dads
Like,
in the
your
audience, please.
I imagine your time is taken up raising kids, but I don't think your libido would. Or maybe it does. I
Any
don't know.
fathers in the audience, do you wank? Do you still wank?
Does
have
your penis
sex?
work anymore? Because even though you've had kids, because I feel like surely it does to some degree. Or would you just be like, yeah, no, it's fine, cut it off. Who needs it?
They probably had to put it on his arm because the area where it fell off was probably still heavily needed to repair first, right?
Yeah, of course. God, yeah.
So they
People
Where
say
would you
they wank
prefer it to
more
be?
often now they're a father.
3
Wow.
kids, dick broke.
Okay.
No, it fell off.
Here
I
we
don't
go.
think many of these people are dads. I'll be honest.
Oh, you don't know
Just
that.
We'll ask Sips and Pyrian, who we know for a
Don't
fact.
call them out like that.
Well, you just said you don't believe anything.
That might be their fucking. That might be their crowning achievement, Trot. Some people define their lives by the children they have. I don't understand them, but they do. And you're there saying
the
they're not
answer-
even fucking real fathers. Jesus
Real
Christ!
fathers. Do you reckon
But
he
did
could
that
get,
guy take a shit or
like
not? Is what I want to know.
yeah, was he? Is he shitting in that picture? I have no idea. Or is his penis functional on his arm like that? Can he accidentally get aroused whilst he's like giving a high five? Like, what happens there? Come on, like, what is
don't-
it functional?
Oh, sorry, did I hit you with?
Oh, sorry, excuse the floppy penis. Oh no, it's not floppy
Sorry.
anymore. Never mind.
Oh, aim for the elbow. Aim for the elbow.
Hey, elbow. I can't see it past the
High five.
cock, you weird bastard. Stop high-fiving me. COVID.
Oh. We've actually hit our hour limit, guys. We've done it.
Oh, the limit. Oh my
Right.
god,
That's
we
a
smashed
limit.
it. Holy shit.
Well,
Trot was watching
we've
the
hit-
fucking clock.
I just had a little glance. I just said we've hit
Yeah, no, that's fine.
an
That's
hour
fine.
and 2.
I get it.
2 minutes over, actually, Ross. Now 2 minutes 20.
I could extend it briefly with this very short story, Trot, about
Go on.
what do you think Spider Shazam is?
Is it a
That's
app
like-
which allows you to identify spiders based on their skittering
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Is
It's
it?
not a musical helping tool for spiders, which genuinely some people thought it might be.
What song
Right,
is
in
this?
the
Fucking, what song is
post I
this?
saw.
Somebody
What song
call
is this?
it.
Spider.
Fucking hell! Jesus. Suffering tarantulas
Spider
everywhere trying to
Shazam.
figure out. It's Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Come on, you son of a bitch. No, they've managed to identify. There's an app called Critopedia, I believe. So you can identify what that spider is, and will it kill you?
So Spider Shazam is a news article title, not the actual app title. Then they use that to
No,
lure
of
us
course
in.
not. Of course not. Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And,
So
made
it makes
a
sense in
little fun of it.
Australia where a lot of spiders are deadly and you need to identify them. So yeah. So is it more of a photo
Reminds
thing?
me-
Like does photo recognition rather
Yeah,
than
so you take
any
a photo
sort
of it, and
So it's not even remotely like Shazam because that's all audio.
well,
based.
Shazam. Yeah, of course, but it's the equivalent of what it is. You're trying to identify something, and
It's
that's
a
what
Google
they've
image reverse
they've used.
search. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. But not many
It's
people use
less
that as in
Shazam
comparison to
and-
Shazam, surely.
I
I
actually
guess.
downloaded an app the other day to tell me what plants are. So it's like you use the camera and
Well,
machine learning, and you look at a leaf and it tells you what plant that leaf is
A
from.
leaf.
Which I
Wow.
which I think is really useful. Like because especially
That's
since I
cool.
went to
Yeah.
the garden centre a couple of weeks ago and bought some house plants, and 2 of them didn't have any labels on them. So I'm like, what is this? And
Yeah,
what
yeah.
do I do with it? And I tweeted that out and people helped and that was great. But like there's an app that will identify plants. I think that's really cool because I think
What's it
phones
called?
should very much be like
A service.
very
that
much
is.
should be like
to help.
tricorders from Star Trek. You know, like they should be scanners. They should be identifiers. Like
Yeah.
that is what they should be good at.
Yeah.
Like same with like health and stuff. If a person is having a heart attack or something like that, and you had a device in your pocket where you could whip out and go, "What's wrong with this person? Okay, right, how
Hold
should I
on.
treat them?"
I'll take a
Like-
photo of him having a
Hold
heart
on, can you
attack.
lean to the left?
Yeah, like This is what they should do.
Yes, he's having
And
a
I think
heart
that's really
attack.
cool
He's
when you
about
get
to
things like
die.
that.
You should have called 999.
It
Hold
reminds
on.
me of that
Now.
episode
I
of
haven't got any
Dead.
data. I haven't got any
It
data.
reminds me of that episode of Silicon Valley where he makes that app which identifies food, but it only identifies hot dogs because that was the only thing he programmed it to read.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember
that?
It was his.
Calm
They were like,
down.
oh look, it's futuristic. He's going to be able to figure out what any food is, and they're like, okay, sure, like protest it out, and it works on hot dogs. That's so funny. But essentially, that's I mean,
the app I got is called Picture This: A Botanist in Your Pocket. But
Wow. Picture
it's quite
this.
expensive. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's free for a week, and then it's $19.99 a year. But I guess that's because you're running servers and stuff like that then compute the image and work out what plant it is.
See, this is where gyms get you with this membership stuff. And also a lot of apps. I've got an app called Fitbod, which is like, you get 7 days. You get to use like 3 different workouts. And after that, it's a subscription
they'll
service.
send you pictures of Fitbods.
The biggest discount is if you get they do. It's really awesome, actually. High res. But they like the year one is like really cheap because they know most people bail out of working out after doing their New Year resolution. It's like the same when if you look in January at gyms, really huge discount because they know they're going to get you on a direct debit or something, and you're going to forget to cancel it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting how a lot of app models are kind of following suit on that because Smith's going to buy 1 or 2 plants, maybe another one.
Yep.
Is it worth £20 a year worth of app? Who knows?
No, I mean, I guess the upside is like when I'm outside or when I'm out and about, or one day
Is
if we
this
go
plant
traveling
gonna kill
again,
me?
it'd be cool.
One up on your friends.
It'd be cool to like have that. Yeah, like I find plants interesting, obviously. I love weeds. But yeah, like it's
weeds are just
it's
labeled,
interesting
man.
app.
They're oppressing other plants.
Yeah.
Weeds are like horrible human oppression on plants. Dandelions are nice. I like dandelions.
Yeah. Okay. You know who else likes dandelions?
Sounds like the
Like
Guinea pigs.
reptiles. So like guinea pigs love them. Tortoises love them. Bearded dragons love them. They love them.
Good.
dandelions,
I'm
guys.
glad. There's a lot of
What a great
nutrition
way
in the
to
stems.
Dandelions,
Wrap
man.
up the plate.
That's so
You need some
good.
dandelions. Get
So
some dandelions. Can we
pretty.
get some dandelions to him, stat, please. Jesus.
You're not a weed. You're a special flower to me. I'm gonna put one in a fucking pot.
Right.
Plant
Its own dedicated pot.
That's all my stories, guys, for today.
That's fantastic, Ross. That was a good selection, actually. I approve. The guy knob falling off, that was a good one. None of them were like,
That was a good one.
that's just fucking gross or disgusting.
Exactly. That's just harsh. I mean,
They rode the line
there
of
was
humour.
one there are several others that were questionable. There always are.
Yeah, but that's the way we do things here at Hat Films.
Indeed.
Thank you for listening. If you do have a musical ear and like to make music and want to be the next Fingal, please do send it into our email, hatchat-film.com. Thank you. And
Hat-films.com.
And Hat Chat doesn't have any sponsors yet. We just do this for the fun of it. And
I think do you think they listen to the podcast and immediately go, fuck that?
Ugh,
Do you think so?
switch it off. Maybe. I don't want any sponsorship. Well, maybe in the future. So, Alex Smith, where can they go to support us if they're an audience?
He's not at ease.
There, right there. Patreon.com
It's patreon.com.
/hatfilms. That's what he was waiting to point at. Very, very, very intense.
Nice.
You okay there? Holy shit.
Unwind my neck a bit.
It's becoming a thing, and I'm worried he's going to burst a blood vessel next time he does it, but there we go. Will the Tash stay until next Hat Chat, Alex Smith?
Dunno.
Push it out a bit, see what happens.
It's alright.
Did people even know he had a mustache on the Hat Chat? He has
I
a
don't think
mustache,
anyone's
by the way.
noticed.
But
think
it's
anyone's
fine.
noticed.
You can't
Agreed.
see it.
Oh, of course
but
they're
you
not
can
gonna
hear
know
it
that. The
rustling
listeners
against the
aren't gonna know
microphone.
It's a good, you can rub it against the mic. Lovely.
He's rubbing
Excellent.
against
Well,
the mic for you.
You hear that?
a little bit, not too much.
Yeah,
well,
it's really
thanks
loud.
for
Penetrating.
listening. Thanks for watching. If you do want to watch the visuals of this, a lot of news articles and images of cars this week, please head to the Hat Chat podcast on YouTube. There's a whole channel for it. You get to see us. Sorry about that, but it just comes with the territory. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next one, couple weeks from now. Enjoy, and goodbye from us.
Bye.
Ta-ra.